Sunday's game does officially mark the halfway point of the regular season schedule. So just kind of wanted to get your assessment of the first half and how it's kind of set you up heading into the second half of the season.
Uh, I think it's been a difficult first half of the season. Started out poorly with, all the problems we had with preseason and the Champions League, and then obviously some weather issues and all of that. But as of late, we've responded well and have gotten some results, and it'll be important that we have a much improved second half of the season.
Next, we go to Rich Thompson from the Boston Herald, followed up by Tom Quinlan. Rich, you're unmuted.
Thanks. Bruce, the first one, do you have any unvaccinated players that go to Canada?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, we do not discuss those issues publicly. Those are confidential things for the players, so I don't want to, give their health history in these press conferences.
Fair enough. Just talk about Tommy McNamara and the many positions that he can play for you and functions he can perform for the Revolution.
Well, he's a versatile player, can play any of the positions in the midfield and has. So he's a real asset for us. He's having another good season. I thought his last game was a real good one against. I'm going brain dead, against Minnesota in a day where our team didn't play particularly well, but Tommy hung in there and played well, and I the whole week we got some good minutes out of him.
Next, we go to Tom Quinlan from WPRO. He'll be followed up by Jamie Rook. Tom, you're unmuted.
Thanks, Dan. Hey, Coach, good to see you. In talking with Tommy and Omar after the game the other night, they feel one of the group's best attributes is the togetherness the guys play with and finding a way to come together when things aren't going well. Would you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, I think for the most part over the 2.5 years that's been a characteristic of our team. They play a good hard 90 minutes game in and game out, and obviously no game is perfect, but they deal with the highs and the lows pretty well. They're a good group of guys, and they play well together as a team.
Next, we go to Jamie Rook from Last Word on Sports. He'll be followed up by Seth McCumber. Jamie, you're unmuted now.
Hi, Bruce. Could you just speak to what you've made of the Whitecaps so far this season and what their biggest threats would be this weekend?
Well, I haven't looked at them that closely. The last couple of games I watched, I know they won last night and they were in the Canadian Championship game, if I'm not mistaken. Watched them against Dallas. They were very opportunistic and did a good job there. They've been pretty consistent in their style of play, and one of the things that's difficult to analyze with them is they've rotated a fair amount of players, but the guys up front are good players, and I wish I had a roster in front of me, but the number 9, their striker, is very good. The guys in the midfield, 11, 7, and 25 as attacking midfielders are good players. Their backline's experienced. We know Cody Cropper. He was here in New England, their goalkeeper. But a good solid team. They play well at home. Playing in Vancouver is never easy, so it's really going to be challenging.
Next, we go to Seth McCumber from SB Nation. He'll be followed up by Rich Thompson. Seth, you're unmuted now.
Hi, Coach, thanks for taking the time. You're dealing with some injuries right now. Curious if there's any updates about Polster, Kessler, By, and Jones in particular.
Polster was still dealing with the concussion protocols with him. Jones and who was the other one you said? By? Who was it? Jones? Jones has been practicing. Kessler's been practicing.
Okay, we'll take one more question. That'll go to Rich Thompson from the Boston Herald. Rich, you're unmuted.
Bruce, could you just talk about the way Dylan and Gustavo have learned to play together on the field?
Well, they're getting familiar with each other, and as our whole team is with Dylan, and certainly with Georgie in the goal, and as we continue to get more games under our belt. I think they're going to develop a good relationship, which I think they have already. So it's good to see. I think Gustavo's playing the role as a big brother kind of with Dylan, and that's good to see. And I think each game they've gotten better, and Dylan has responded quite well to the move here and dealing with MLS and our team and all of that. So it's been real positive.